Ethan Clark woke up that morning to the smell of coffee and the faint sound of rain tapping on the kitchen window. He smiled. It was a Saturday, the one day he didn't have to rush to the office. For weeks, he'd been planning to spend the morning with his wife, Lena, maybe take her out for breakfast, walk by the lake like they used to. But when he walked downstairs, that warmth he expected wasn't there. Lena sat at the table in her robe, staring at her phone, barely looking up. "Morning," Ethan said, trying to sound cheerful. "Morning," she replied flatly, not looking away from the screen. He frowned slightly. "Rough night?" "No," she said. "Just thinking." He poured himself coffee and sat across from her. "About what?" Her eyes finally met his. There was something cold in them, something distant. "About us." That hit harder than he expected. "Us," he repeated. She nodded, taking a breath like she was preparing for something painful. "Ethan, I think we need to stop pretending everything's fine. You work too much, you barely talk to me, and honestly," she paused, "my days feel lighter when you're not around." He blinked, not sure he heard her right. "What?" "I mean," she continued softly, "you bring this heaviness. Like you're always tired, always worrying. I can't do this anymore. I think both our days would be better without each other." Her words cut through him like glass. Ethan stared at her, coffee cooling in his hand. "You're saying, your day would be better without me?" She didn't flinch. "Yes." For a long time, he didn't move. The kitchen clock ticked between them, counting down the end of something he once thought would last forever. Finally, he stood up. "Then I won't ruin your day any longer." He grabbed his jacket from the chair and walked out the front door. The rain had grown heavier. He didn't even bother to grab an umbrella. Each drop stung his face, cold against the heat in his chest. He walked down the quiet street, past the old oak tree where they used to take photos, past the small park where they once planned their future. He didn't know where he was going, he just knew he couldn't stay. 15 minutes later, as he turned the corner onto Maple Avenue, he heard a screech of tires, sharp and sudden. He froze. A car had skidded across the wet road, crashing into a lamppost just a few meters away. People rushed over from nearby shops. Ethan ran forward. "Is everyone okay?" A woman stood trembling beside the car, pointing. Someone was crossing the street. He turned, and the world seemed to tilt beneath him. Lying on the pavement was Lena. His heart stopped. He dropped to his knees beside her, his hands shaking as he reached for her face. "Lena! Lena, can you hear me?" Her eyes fluttered open weakly. "Ethan! What were you doing here?" he asked, his voice breaking. I came to find you," she whispered, struggling for breath. "I didn't mean it. What I said. I was angry. I shouldn't have." "Don't talk," he said, pressing his jacket under her head. "Help is coming, okay? Just stay with me." Tears mixed with the rain on his face. The sirens grew louder in the distance. She gripped his hand weakly. "I just wanted you to come back." He squeezed her hand tighter. "I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere." When the ambulance arrived, they pulled him back as the paramedics worked quickly. His mind spun. 15 minutes ago, she wanted him gone. Now she was fighting to stay. At the hospital, he sat outside the emergency room for hours, his hands still trembling, her words echoing in his head, "My day would be better without you." But all he could think was how empty his world felt without her in it. Finally, the doctor came out. "She's stable," he said gently. "She'll need rest, but she's going to be okay." Ethan exhaled shakily, covering his face. Thank God. When he was allowed to see her, Lena lay in the hospital bed, pale but conscious. She looked up as he entered. "You came," she whispered. "Of course I did," he said softly, pulling a chair closer. "Where else would I be?" She looked away, guilt filling her eyes. "Ethan, I don't deserve you. I said terrible things." He took her hand carefully. "You were hurt. Angry. I get it." "No," she said firmly. "You didn't deserve that. You've been trying, even when I didn't see it. I pushed you away because I was scared you'd stop loving me. But I think I stopped loving myself first." He shook his head slowly. Lena, we've both made mistakes. But I never stopped caring. Tears welled in her eyes. I know. And I almost lost the chance to make things right. He brushed a strand of hair from her forehead. Then let's start again. No more words we don't mean. No more walking away. She nodded weakly, whispering, "Deal." The next morning, as sunlight broke through the hospital window, Ethan sat beside her bed with 2 cups of coffee. "You still like yours with extra sugar?" he asked, smiling faintly. She nodded, smiling for the first time in weeks. "You remembered." He handed her the cup. "Always will." They sat there in silence, sipping coffee, not talking about the past, just breathing in the quiet gift of another chance. Outside, the rain had stopped. The streets glistened with morning light, and for the first time in a long time, Ethan felt peace, fragile but real. He knew things wouldn't be perfect, but maybe that was okay. Sometimes it takes losing everything, or almost losing it, to realize what truly matters. As he looked at Lena, resting against the pillow, her eyes soft and sincere, he whispered, "My days are better with you, no matter how hard they get." She smiled faintly, reaching for his hand. "Then let's make every one count." And this time, they both meant it.